Welcome back to Blender CC LiveNoding. In this episode, I want to share the breakdown on how I created this 3D hexagonal kind of like a text, like in the normal grid of hexagon. This is actually possible and it's pretty easy if you downloaded the Johny Matthew Gizmp, and we simply just need to kind of modify it slightly. So let's take a look. First of all, the material, we have the caustics happening, and seems like with the latest Blender 3.1 and on the Mac, I think we actually have caustics. Maybe it's already there. I just didn't realize it. But anyway, that's the material, and currently I'm simply using this glass material with random hue. I could just use the normal principles BSDF if I want just like a metal shader. So let's take a look. So we have like a grid of hexagon, and that's just using this gizmo from Johny Matthew. Look at it from the top view, it's kind of nice. Okay, so the hexagon grid is already pre-made. If we take a look at the nodes inside, okay, might be slightly complicated, but that's done for you. And then what's happening here is we have a font and Raycast. Okay, so this is just basically the whole trick. It's super simple. The grid, let's see, let me turn on shadow, and okay, just to show you, originally the grid is simply just a bunch of points. Okay, and then we have text on top of it. So the text will be some kind of raycast into the point. So whenever the points touches the text, it's gonna keep the points. So from this hex grid points, I simply use the raycast and this text. So as a result, we have this hit. I think we also have the hit positions, but I'm just using this boolean that's deleting the geometry where the points doesn't hit. Okay, and then okay, so this is the result. Before I use this boolean math, okay, this is how the text looks like. So I can resize the text. I can reposition the text. So let me just transform the text. I could scale the text. And the actual font as well. And the string of the text can be modified. Okay, so that's the idea. You can actually animate the text like this, just like an LED. So from that, I just simply reverse the raycast is hit value using this boolean math, and then using that points to instance my geometry, which is this mesh circle. As the result, we have a bunch of circles. And then I simply realize the instances of the circle and then extrude it. And then I extrude this randomly, so we have kind of variations. And then I simply apply the glass material. So as a result, we have this artwork. So it's pretty simple. else here? So from this little setup, we could perhaps pipe this seed out and then pipe the string output and maybe also the transform, but so we can just select our objects here and change the message, for example peace, for example. Okay, and yeah, I like to play with the light and the shadows, and also, oh yeah, we have other things like the gap here that we can play around with. And the grid itself, we can have different number of X and Y grid, and the radius. I think radius 0 is what we need, and the gap is really in our case, because we are using instance of circle, we can adjust it ourselves. So grid pattern, anyway, grid pattern is always looking kind of nice, like a honeycomb. So yeah, it's a nice pattern to use. Let's take a look at the shader. If we replace the glass with just a basic shader, maybe non-metallic roughness with some subsurface color, like a normal color and subsurface, it's gonna look quite different. We can use like variations on the value, for example. So copy this color, paste it here, just plug it here. So we have like a yellow color with some variations of value. Maybe this is what you want. And then we can play around with the shadow. Like if we are looking at this from the top view, right? So yeah, I think it's pretty simple and basics, but still kind of nice to know how to do this type of setup. And if you want to change the font, you can always find the font from Google, for example, like you can use Ian Hubert font. I think this one is a bit random, however. Let's try Futura. So I changed the font. It looks slightly thicker and different now. So yeah, it's pretty basic, simple and sweet. So you can have this kind of 3D objects. When you look at it from the top, okay, there's a message, there's a hidden message. All right, so yeah, hopefully you find this useful and interesting. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.